no problems. Welcome back to. Oh, I take that back. Krendar's all out of whack. Why is he out of whack?
Uh-huh.
Oh, my
Great
hubris,
question.
my sheer hubris,
Not the hubris.
my humors,
Oob. Your Hooba stank.
my hummus, not my hummus, my beautiful
Ooh,
hummus.
hummus. What are you, Ben Carson now?
I want some hummus.
I love me some hummus.
You must. Check out
Yeah.
hummus.
What?
Especially like a really well-made smooth hummus.
Ooh, yes. I that would be lovely. That and some flatbread and maybe a little bit of some sort of like nice sort of light sauce, sort of baste the two together. A little bit of tang. A little bit of tang. So, welcome back to Bearded Ramblings, where we have a very special episode for you tonight. For we are once again, after quite a long time, God, it's been a good few months, maybe even close to like a year and some change. We got some Luka. Hi, Luka.
Yeah. Hi, Luka. Welcome to the Bearded Ramblings After School Special. A very special Bearded Ramblings.
Tonight on a very special episode of Bearded Ramblings.
Like I haven't been here in
Yes.
years.
What do you have?
Maybe-
Or at least a year.
Yeah, maybe a year or two. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, I think Girl Does Rant was still doing her weekly things last time I was here.
Yeah, and still using that name.
I was gonna say.
Oh, what she
She's
changed?
yeah, she's the final girly now.
That doesn't
Oh,
really
yeah,
stream
okay,
either.
okay.
Because she doesn't do rants anymore, so why call herself that anymore?
True.
I need to
She's
drop
leaning
her
into the
line.
horror aspect, you know?
Yeah, I somewhat keep in touch with her. I've been posting like I'm sure. Well, actually, Krendar, I don't think you've seen it, but yeah, I post like a lot of wrestling shit on my YouTube channel because I can't stream or record anything, so I'm just like, fuck it, man.
Yeah. No, I'm
fun
aware
with
that
this
you
shit.
have. Yeah, no, I've noticed. You're a
Yeah.
wrestler boy. I am not a wrestler boy.
Yeah.
You have many wrestle people though in our communities though. So should anyone watching
Wrestlings.
wrestlers wish to partake, Luca's link is in the doobly-doo along with Crandar. Mine, other assorted stuff such as stream goal and what have you. By the way, does anyone have any idea why the stream goal looks like it's some sort of hacker code to access like
Oh,
Pokemon files?
that's a glitch happening on YouTube right now. I was watching somebody else earlier, and it happened to them too.
Huh.
It's got some sort of weird number thing happening. It's not just us. It's a thing.
And then other times it doesn't. I
See,
kind of
it's-
like it. but
Yeah,
I don't.
it fixes and then breaks again.
Hmm.
Apparently.
It's the value of your exchange rate due to the tariffs.
Yeah. There you go.
Hey, at this rate, the tariffs are just going to be all for show because it seems every day he backtracks on another one.
Well, I mean, it's like it's all part of the plan, and it's like I'm gonna give him a deal. I'm gonna take the deal.
Now
It's
he's
gonna be the
walking
best
away
deal,
from the
greatest
Ukraine
deal.
deal, like he's like
What is the deal?
it's all failed.
Why didn't you thank us and wear a suit?
God, I want to put JD Vance in like the sort of sailor suit the sailor suit sort of little boy outfits with the giant lolly and like maybe a hat with like a little like spinning top. But at the same time, I also know that he wants to fuck sofas, so maybe I could do something with that.
Wants to.
Oh, he
Has.
Oh, now that he has the power of the vice president, that's instead of him going to see his mistress, he's just going to like a furniture store, and everyone's to get out and turn off the security cameras. That's his harem. He has a harem at hentai where they're all different personality types.
Like the title screen for his harem hentai is just like the front of an IKEA store.
With the departure message being, don't forget to say thank you.
God.
Yep.
I'm a big boy today.
All the memes with his face are just freaking hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, where it's like just
the bloated puppy
the
face.
giant puffy face, and then behind him is just
Yeah.
a wall of red from all the major companies that are now in like the red because of the tariffs. Please say thank you.
Red downward arrows. Yeah.
Yeah. Stonks.
Well, I mean, and wouldn't you be shocked to guess who it is that's actually making a ton of money out of all this? All of Trump's big business friends.
Of course, they said it in the bloody Oval Office. They were joking about it on camera.
Yeah.
Like, you've all made a bunch of money. We sure have. Yeah, that's called insider trading. That's illegal. Stock manipulation. That's illegal.
It's only illegal when you're not Trump and his friends.
True.
I mean, he broadcasted on Twitter. He's like, "Now's a good time to buy, everybody. Now's a good time to buy."
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Oh yeah, and he's tanking the economy on purpose so that they can manipulate the stock market.
Yep.
Also, the more disastrous the stock market, the bigger the fear is, and fear is very good for right wing talking heads, because they will just then point and say it's the foreigners, it's the gay people, they can't say the Jews, but they could say I suppose in this case Muslims, which is still technically foreigners in their minds. But here's the greatest thing ever, and I have to find this picture before the end of the day. The head of the Soy Association of America, I shit you not, is begging Trump to stop. And they were like big soy farmer, like actual like deep Trumpites, and they were all screaming. They're all like screaming at him that they're destroying their livelihoods. But the face of the dude, I have to find it. It's like before we begin, you two talk among yourselves.
So many people that were big Trump supporters, and then now their livelihood has been destroyed by the man. They're certainly not the only ones. Absolutely not.
Tariffs.
Tariffs.
Image.
That's just tariffs when you've got a stuffy nose.
Okay. Why is there
tariffs?
That's not him, but. I don't know why I find that image funny. It's just him doing his job. But there's something about it.
That version of Elon Musk in overalls.
He's like the evil version of like it's honest work, but it's good or some shit like that. That meme, that dude. Yeah.
Also, looking at this picture, I thought soy products were supposed to help us lose weight.
There's just this
irony.
There's
because
there he is. There he is. Look at that.
Oh God. Oh no.
It's Boogie 2988.
This man is not a soybean farmer. This man is a farmer who is also a soybean.
And this is the sort of person who'd be going online and say, "Cry more liberal."
Oh yeah, absolutely. This guy is absolutely what you expect a Trumper to look like.
Oh God. He really does have that like boogie cheeks, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He looks like Boogie 2988.
And the center jowl as well. Like when I lost the beard, I was terrified that like I'd look too chubby. But it's starting to balance out. As long as I keep it, oddly enough, very smooth. I have to keep the lack of beard nice and even. But I'm always terrified that I'm gonna look like this and sound like this. But no. Especially like Jesus, if I keep my head high, and keep it to the side, like I can see me down.
Oh, by the way, got confirmation for the 18th. 18th is go.
Glorious. All right, so we got a guest down for the 18th. I gotta hear what he sounds like. I've only ever seen the picture of him. Please, I hope he either has an incredibly high voice or an incredibly fat voice. You know,
he's definitely one of the all-time fats.
Yeah. I thought yes. Like, he doesn't sample his own product.
I definitely want him to sound like what he looks like.
Very concerned about the current outlook. As a soybean farmer,
a little bit.
We are dependent on trade. Right at 50% of the soybeans produced in the United States are exported. China
it does sound like a soybean.
Takes more of our soybeans.
God bless him. All
I mean, he
right.
sounds like you're one of the mill Southerner, so I can't really. There's really nothing that springs to mind in terms of making fun of him.
I know. Oh, here is. Boop. Might recall this from last week. This is the same franchise.
Now, after 20 to 45 minutes of meditation, the visions will reveal to me the location of the kidnapped fairy queen. What? Oh, yes, I'm getting all kinds of visions. Oh, I'm getting really good stuff. I'm seeing lots of clues. Oh yes, these are very.
Clues. Lots of clues. Yes.
It makes you wonder what the spell reagents were for this, eh?
Yeah.
What sort of mushrooms do you? Oh, yeah, it had a gummy. Okay,
Yeah.
I see.
It's a wizard gummy to help
Yeah,
him see the future. Sure.
I didn't notice the gummy originally.
He forgot that the gummies take about an hour to kick in.
Oh
Not
no,
for it, not
no,
magic
I
wizard
think,
gummies.
I think whoever hired this wizard just wasted their money to watch an old man get stoned off his fucking head.
To me, the location
But
of the
above all else, I just love
kidnapped
the
fairy
cutaway of
queen.
it. It's so well done. That. Just right to that. It's fucking brilliant. Like no music, no like herpy derp derp. It's just good shit.
Yeah.
Look at you,
Well,
the future.
that kind of is how gummies kick in, isn't it?
Oh,
They go from
Jesus, I was
0 to
so
60.
off my head. when I was getting stoned feel good. Oh my god, when they hit hard. And I was watching the Minecraft movie at the time.
Oh God.
Yeah, that was an experience. Here is something pretty cool. It's the Doom theme, but it's also in a cappella.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
Oh. Oh yeah, the original one.
Yeah.
I love the girl doing the drums.
He's both animated up.
It's awesome. These people need to collab with what's his face?
The one who does like all the toothbrushes and shit like that.
No, oh, actually yes, him too. But I was thinking, what's that guy who does who's known for doing all those video game acapellas? I forget his name. I'll get back to you.
We're just putting ourselves in for Lord Nice.
I love how they take themselves so seriously while also making all these silly faces and noises.
Well, you got it. It's that beautiful
Glorious.
line in between.
Oh yeah. Also, it's Smooth McGroove is who I was thinking of.
Smooth McGroove. Okay. Now, Luka, we just wanted. Hey, Troy. Good to see you. We just wanted to ease ourselves in. For you, sir, have much to speak of, apparently, and we are more than happy to let you speak. So I'm gonna make the image I'm using for your thing into the main screen. And sir, take it. Actually, before you begin, could you just hire yourself up a little bit?
Can I do what now?
You hire yourself up a bit.
Turn up your mic gain a wee bit.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I believe is what he meant.
Yes. You're a little low.
I think that's as high as I can get it.
Happy
That's pretty good right
420
there.
Troy. Hope you're all having a happy 420. Whatever you're doing. For it is also the day of the Lord. Where he was.
Get high with the Lord.
Yes.
Yeah.
If you're into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luka, take it away.
All right. So, so I have gone through the whole rehab journey that started back in February 26th of this year. February 23rd was my first day of sobriety because I was told it was recommended I go 72 hours before checking into rehab. Otherwise, I'd have to go to detox. Didn't want to do that. So I've been sober since February 23rd. So going on about 60 days, so about 2 months now. I've lost, let's see, when I went into rehab, I was 233 pounds. I'm now at like 195. So I've dropped a good chunk of weight over the last 2 months. And the majority of that was from all the drinking that I did. And I'm sure Brindar could definitely speak to this because he was actually there. But like when I would go on to Girl Does Rant, or as she's now known, the Final Girl, um, pretty much every single stream I went on there, I was already like at least a couple of drinks in. Like there wasn't a single one of those I went into that I wasn't intoxicated, or by the end of it, there was a couple times I passed the fuck out. A couple times that I went off on tirades and rants, and I didn't even remember what the fuck it is that I said because I was so damn drunk. I didn't know what the fuck. I didn't even know where the fuck I was.
Don't forget, you also got drunk with me here a few times.
Yeah, I got drunk. Well, actually, I think here I was a lot more tame and composed because I forget the guy's name, but me and him would sometimes go at it with each other. Pallet, I think that was his name. You remember who I'm talking about, don't you?
Sorry, what? I missed the last sentence. What was it?
Pallet, is that what his name was?
Oh yeah, Pallet Beard. Yeah, the British guy
Yeah, the one that was with the
model painting and stuff.
Yeah,
it was with Insolence.
Yeah, him. Like me and him would sometimes go at each other, but for the most part,
he went at everybody.
Yeah, that's why I didn't take it personally. But yeah, unfortunately, I can't do any of my streaming that I used to do, because my gaming laptop it's I don't know if it's the hard drive or if it's the coolant fan, but something's doing some kind of engine running, so I can't be doing any of that. Plus, I guess to get into the more serious aspects of like why I did what I did in terms of going sober and getting away from alcohol, which by the by is not it's not as easy as it was for me quitting smoking. Quitting smoking, I literally rage quit that shit because I got a heckler that was trying to get me to buy cigarettes for him, and I eventually caved, bought him the cigarettes, and then I went back outside to light up another one, and like midway through it, I just broke that son of a bitch in half, put it out, threw it away, broke the entire box in half, threw that away, and I haven't touched a cigarette since October of 2022. Excuse me, 22. But alcohol, I've had drinks where I'm like offered a drink, but I refuse it. And apparently that's my brain's way of coping with the withdrawals in a safe environment because obviously you can't get drunk in your own head. I'm sure for a lot of people that would be convenient, but we can't be doing that shit.
Save a lot of money.
Jesus Christ, especially in Ireland.
I'm sure.
For fuck's sake.
Yeah. But hang on one second.
Uno momento, por favor.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean I've had the various symptoms. I used to have like the shakes. I would have trouble sleeping. I would basically be itchy all over. I didn't know that was like dry skin or what that was, but I noticed that it started popping up like I want to say the first 2 weeks when I was in rehab, which was probably the hardest part, was the first 2 weeks because that's when all the withdrawal symptoms were kicking into full gear.
Did you have to go on
my brain?
Did you have to go on diazepam or anything like that?
No, I went into a VA clinic because I was in the Air Force. I did 12 years. I had all the benefits and everything like that. And give me one more second again. My cat is.
Bad kitty.
Yeah, she can't make up her mind if she wants to be in the room or outside the room, so she keeps running in and out. And I have to leave the door open because her food and cat litter are outside of the room I'm in. But I don't want my the person I'm staying with to hear some of the because of my filter and whatnot. But Anyways, so yeah, I went to a VA clinic. I get all those perks and benefits and everything on my 12 years of Air Force service. Um, they had me on this thing that's supposed to help combat your cravings. I'm on a magnesium and potassium supplement because my magnesium and potassium levels were incredibly low when I got in.
Oh. I'd heard about
Um,
magnesium as being a hangover help or something like that.
Mm.
I don't
it
know how
is.
true it is. I don't know how true it is, but I've played Disco Elysium.
I mean, I'd have to say it is because, like, I haven't had any desire to drink. And I was telling myself, like, okay, you're in rehab. They have you basically chained to the floor, not literally, but figuratively. They have you chained up. They're keeping an eye on you 24/7, so you can't do anything that you would want to do, even if you did or did not want to. Basically, you were being monitored and supervised 24/7. So I was like, all right, the first real test is going to be when I get out of here. And the entire program was 21 days. So I was there from the 26th all the way up to the 19th of March last month. And when I got out, actually, I want to say about the third week, I was making phone calls to like my parents, what the fuck, my parents, my sister, because she was taking care of one of my cats. My grandmother was taking care of the other one, the one that's like running in and out of my room like she's fucking Usain Bolt. Um, she's dropped a couple of pounds too. She was 15 pounds when she got taken in, and now she's down to about 13. So she's dropped a couple pounds.
Ah, the kitty zoomies help with that, eh?
That, and she's actually got room to like run around in, as opposed to the studio apartment that I was living in, or
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
yeah, studio apartment. So that, and I think she's a lot less stressed out because Salem like to harass her. Like he's a kitten, he's a playful little dude. So I think having them separated for a little bit is going to help them out, especially since he got his baby maker snipped, so he's now neutered and all that stuff. He got all of his meds up to date, so he's a good, healthy cat. And then once I get my own place again, I'll be able to get him back. We can't have him here where I'm staying because the relative I'm staying with, she has a blood thinner, so she gets cut like basically, it's it's bad. So we don't want that going on, and I'm not going to get him declawed. And my sister would straight up kill me if I got him declawed, anyways. But yeah, it's been a trip going through the whole sobriety thing, trying to get my self back on my feet. Because my drinking habits, they pretty much cost me my job, even though there were parts of the way that it was handled with me parting ways with the job that I had that's on them. There was a lot of shitty things that they did, but majority of, I would say it's like 70/30. 30% is on them, 70% is on me. But trying to get a job, it's been somewhat difficult, especially with trying to find one that works for me, as well as the fact that I don't want to get too into politics with this shit, but getting a government job is damn near impossible right now with all the cuts going on, thanks to Doge and Trump and all that other shit. Um, but what I took away from the rehabilitation and being able to actually think for once and actually remember, what the fuck it is I did or said, the day prior and whatnot. My memory is a lot better now. I'm not misremembering things or making shit up in my head that didn't fucking happen. So it was a little weird to get used to at first, but now, having been sober for almost 2 months, I'm used to it now. And I don't want to go back to the way that I used to be because I was on a downward spiral. I was basically either because I was behind on rent, I was facing eviction. So it's either go before a court and basically, I mean, it was going to be a cut and dry. Okay, well, they gave you notice, you have to pay this, and you will pay this, or you're going to pay. You'll be homeless. You'll be out on the street. And being out on the street in St. Louis City, not ideal, especially because at the time it was during the winter months, and we had a pretty shitty winter this past year. Um, it was either that or it was go to rehab, get cleaned up, and get all your VA shit squared away, which I have. That reminds me as well. I got to get my unemployment submitted before Monday morning, aka midnight my time, because they are sticklers. So if like you go past that midnight cutoff, that are like, nope, sorry, that week's a bust. You're gonna have to start all over with applying for your unemployment benefits and whatnot. Um, but also with like when it comes to like I haven't been around anybody that's been drinking like person to person like in the Discord chats and whatnot, yeah, I've been around a couple people that like they said they've had a few or whatever the fuck. I'm like, I don't care. If you're drinking, it's whatever, it's fine. But I guess I'm kind of not sure how I'm going to react if I'm with somebody who is drinking. But I want to say that like with all the progress I made, if I just remind myself of like, hey, how far you've come along, don't let one drink basically take away all of that from you. And so that's what I want to keep in my head if I'm hanging around people that are drinking and whatnot. And I'll be honest with you, I as much as I enjoyed, I should say, uh, the feel goods that like beer would give you, I fucking hated the taste of that shit. Like I didn't
Oh,
matter what brand
it's
it was.
nasty.
If it's American, European, from Mexico, wherever, it's just,
Yeah.
there were fruity ales that I could drink that I'd be fine with, but yeah, majority of the time, whenever I was drinking it, obviously it was for the flavor, it was for the effect. But yeah, so once I'm off on my own, hopefully, I'm saying hopefully as in I need to be real with myself because it's not like, oh yeah, I got this in the bag, no problem. Because no, that's a load of bullshit. I also want to say that rehab has given me a new perspective on people that deal with addiction of whatever the fuck kind it is, whether it's alcohol, drugs. Because a lot of like there were a couple of guys in there that were dealing with different kinds of like they were doing like crack, heroin, fentanyl, all kinds of nasty shit. So it wasn't just alcoholics in there; it was guys that were trying to get off the hard drugs because
All
name
sorts of rehabs,
XYZ.
eh? Yeah.
Oh yeah, and the majority of them were good, decent guys. It's just they made some shitty decisions, in their life, like I did, and that gave me a new perspective on people that were alcoholics or drug addicts or whatever. And it's just like a lot of people like to make the assumption of like, oh, he's doing drugs or she's doing drugs or she's off pouring herself out or he's out doing this and that or whatever. It's like nobody bothers to ask the questions of like why these people are doing these things, like why they're basically deconstructing themselves down, like why they're putting all this harmful shit into themselves. And I mean, of course, you're just social drinkers, people that like understand the responsibility of drinking and, knowing when to cut themselves off or when to call it a night or how to control themselves, maintain themselves, and everything like that. And then there's just people like how I used to be, where we just fall off the deep end and we don't know what the fuck to do with ourselves. So we just say fuck it and just,
Can I
yeah.
talk candidly about my experiences with you when you were drinking, or would that be a little bit too personal?
Oh, no. Oh, no. Go ahead.
Because this will include stuff that happened off stream. One of the first times, if not the first time we had you on, after stream you broke down and cried, if you remember that.
I actually don't. Sad to say.
It was,
I remember
don't
that.
remember.
yeah, it wasn't a great first impression. I could tell, and I remember saying to you and Krandar, you'll probably remember this. I said, like, whatever the issue is, probably the easiest thing you could do to help yourself right now is to lay off the sauce. And I just thought we caught you at a very bad time. I think you were worried about your future in your work, and then you kind of it turned out that was true. But when
And you were going through it that day.
yeah, when I hung out with you and you were drinking, you were fine. Like me, you couldn't shut the fuck up. So the two of us were just gibbering over each other. But that's how I like a lot of my drinking. That's how I like my drinking partners. So there was no problem there. But during the night, I noticed you kind of got almost like fed up with whatever we were doing and just started to go into sort of railing against the world in a really sad, dare I say, sloppy way. And I could tell drink was not your friend.
Yeah. It definitely
Obviously,
was not.
consider, yeah. So when you a while ago, I asked, would you like to be on the show? Because we thought it was a long time, and you said no, man, I'm in rehab. I wasn't that shocked. I was impressed that you actually got up the nerve, because some people would never do that, never actually say that they had a problem. They could have a needle sticking out of their damn arm, or like selling their kids off for another rock to put into the fucking pipe, but they they wouldn't say there's a problem. You did, so that took a lot of courage. That took a whole bunch of courage. Not just do it, you followed through with it. So I think when you will be confronted with alcohol in real life, you probably do actually have this, so long as you have the context for it. That it won't be the end of the world. Even if you do have a drink, it won't be the end of the world. It won't be the best outcome. It won't be the end of the world. But ideally, you'll just let it pass. You don't need to have fun to have drink. You don't need to. Actually, why did you drink? What was your need to drink? What was it? Was it for courage? Was it to take your mind off things? What?
So I think if my memory is right, I want to say the time that I broke down where I talked about my job or whatever. Was that around 2019?
It would have been before my big American trip, so it might have actually been like 2018, or early 2019.
Okay, because 2019 is when the downward spiral for me was really starting to kick in because late 2018 is when I found out my grandfather he had lung cancer, and I couldn't make the funeral because I didn't have enough leave saved up. Um, Due in part to me constantly drinking so much and having to take extra time off because I wasn't showing up fucking hungover and I wasn't going on base smelling like fucking booze and shit. Because A, I'll get pulled over, and B, professionalism, all that other shit. And people did pick up that something was going on with me. They just didn't necessarily know what. So I guess for my part, I kept it hidden well enough, but that people definitely knew something was off with me. But on top of that, I lost my cat, Ted. He had some kind of dysentery problem. Uh, Basically, they had to extract a bunch of stool from him, well, shit out of him. I brought him back home, thought he was good, lay down, took a nap, woke up. He had already, like, rigor mortis had already set in because he was stiff, he was cold. So he died sometime in between me getting back to my apartment and me waking up in that. I think it was like a 2 or 3 hour nap or whatever. And it took me about 20, 30 some odd minutes to kind of process what the hell had just happened. I called both of my parents, and then my supervisor to let them all know like what was going on. And they were all like, well, "What the fuck? We thought everything was good." And I'm like, I thought it was too." And then you couple that with my grandfather, and then I had a friend he was born with. I don't remember the name of the disease. I really need to fucking look this disease up because he was born with it, and he was told, or his parents were told, that he would probably live to be maybe in his mid 20s before the disease, like I guess the symptoms went into overdrive and basically killed him. He ended up defying the doctor's expectations by I think it was 2 or 3 years. So he lived almost to be 30, but he ended up passing away around March of 2019. So just all three of those back to back, plus the guilt I was feeling for, taking the time off that I was taking, being unreliable to both my family and my coworkers. My self worth just went to the fucking shitter, and I mean, I burned so many fucking bridges. Like it's absurd how many bridges that I burned. Like I had a lot of good going for me, and I fucked a lot of it up. Um, there are some of the people that I did, screw things up with. They still keep in touch with me, albeit they keep a distance because they still have that. I mean, most of them have moved on from that because they've got other shit that they're dealing with. But they kept in touch. They knew, like, this guy, he's not bad. He's on his best days, he's awesome. It's just on his worst days, sometimes he can be an intolerable dude to deal with. And we got other people that we don't want that to be the first impression they get of like, oh yeah, these are the people we keep around. So we'll be your friend, but we can't have you around like our community that we're trying to grow and whatnot. And to me, that made perfect sense. Like I would have done the same thing in their shoes, so I didn't take it personally. But yeah, it was just a downward spiral of me just dealing with guilt, not coping with it well enough, and just kind of shutting myself off. And I guess grieving in ways that were not healthy for me, healthy for the people in my life. Um, the
What
one of the
what
hmm?
if you don't if you can think of it, what was your justification you'd tell yourself? Because there had to have been a long point where you were in denial that, you know, you weren't an addict. It's just, and then what did you fill that blank space with?
So basically, I kept selling myself the lie that, oh, I just need to pace myself. I just need to slow down. I just need to start drinking. We'll start at like 5 p.m. and we'll cut ourselves off by midnight. Well, 5 p.m. turned into 4 p.m. turned into 3 p.m. and then we were going on and on until fucking 2 a.m. and we were going through bottles like every couple of days, and it was just a lie. I was telling myself that I'm like, oh, I can handle it, and
I have
then
to
you know
say,
I
you
get
got
so
better.
fucking
You
pissed
got
drunk.
better fucking stamina than me. Christ, I couldn't. That sounds like all the fun of the drinking would just be replaced. I think we've introduced you to him a few times. King Cobra, JFS. That sounds like his life, where he's just in this constant oh, foggy haze all the time, and it's so oppressive. I've done it by
It
accident or by
is. It is.
requirement, and it's I couldn't do that anymore, and I don't want to do that even at the time. So yeah, no, I don't know how you know, fairness, you managed to get shit faced way more than I could have.
I was gonna say what astounded me is the volume that I was drinking and the amount of time I was drinking. So this, you know, it was like 2019 till say mid February of this year was probably all the heavy shit. So that's a good 5 years. I did 5 years of heavy, hard, fucking core drinking, and they did. I mean, they did every fucking scan you can think of, every sort of physical, what have you. Somehow my liver is not damaged. I have no fucking idea how, but my liver is as healthy as can be. The rest of me is as good as can be.
What about your
It's
kidneys?
just the only thing. Oh yeah, my kidneys are fine too.
What
Like
the
nothing has
fuck?
been permanently damaged. I'm like, I don't fucking know. And then they told me that I might have gallbladder stones, and I'm like, all right, well, let's go see what the fuck that's about. I was like, oh no, your gallbladder's actually just folded. It's like it's a rare thing that people either get or they're born with. In my case, I was just born with it, and I'm like, is that a bad thing? They're like, no. I mean, are you able
You
to urinate? You don't have any pain in your upper right abdomen, do you? I'm like, no. And they're like, yeah, you're good to go.
you lucked the fuck out on that one.
Yeah, Christ.
Yeah, and yeah, and I think I also looked out too. Well, actually, with the smoking, I wasn't that bad because I could make a pack last like a week if I really tried hard enough. And I mostly did it for the burning sensation you get in your throat. Like I didn't have a nicotine addiction, which is also why I think quitting smoking was so easy for me. Whereas with alcohol, it's, I mean, for people, I guess, I mean, nobody's the same. You know, I think some people struggle
Yeah.
more with different substances, different addictions. It all affects us differently.
Hmm.
Yep.
I know people who've
But yeah,
been
going
going
through.
on and off drinking for all their well, since they were like 15, 16, and then I met other people who just were drinking for decades and just one day I'm done with this. Like different strokes for different folks. So yeah.
Yeah, and as I said earlier, it's given me a new perspective on people that deal with addiction, not just alcoholism or drugs, but just addiction in general. Because that, I mean, that shit's a fucking affliction and then some. Because that shit will basically possess you and control you, make you do things you don't normally do. But are you familiar with a guy named Raketa Law on YouTube? He's a lawyer or whatever the fuck. Is the name sound
Yes,
familiar?
I'm trying to think. Somebody I know. I think we've had them on the show. Chesh knows Ricotta Law or knows of Ricotta Law.
Okay. So he, I guess, got like 30. He got like some kind of legal bullshit going on with him because I guess he was doing drugs or something like that. And I think he's on court ordered rehabilitation or whatever. I'm not the biggest fan of the guy. I don't have anything personal against him or anything like that. It's just his opinions and mine don't line up or what have you. And that, and I just don't like his personality. But I saw people saying that, like, oh yeah, he'll relapse, he'll do this, he'll do that. Like the me of maybe 3 months ago probably would have joined in the jokes with that shit. The me now looks at that like you have no fucking idea what this guy's going through. Like until you go through it yourself, you have no fucking idea what like having to go through rehab, having to deal with addiction and that kind of shit. And you know, I have a newfound appreciation for people that struggle with addiction and are actively trying to fight it. Like the ones that don't even put the fucking effort in that other people are putting in. Like my family bent over backwards to get me to where I am right now. And I owe it to them and as well as myself, you know, to like push forward and actually live life and not just succumb to like my inner demons or succumb to alcoholism, like poison myself, destroy my body, destroy my social life and all that other shit. Like people that actually put the effort forward um, to better themselves, like, you know, give people a chance. And if they fuck it up and if they like actively go out of their way to fuck it up, then okay, yeah, lost cause, you know, cut your losses, do what you got to do to take care of yourself. Um, there was one of the counselors straight up said like if you're here at rehab, he was like, if you don't feel like you can do it, you just walk out that door. But I want you to do another thing is I want you to take your phone, delete all your contacts, and never talk to those people again because they deserve to live their lives in happiness. They don't deserve to suffer like you
Hell
making shitty
yeah.
decisions. I'm
That's
like,
a very good thing to say.
that's
Jesus.
I'm like, yeah, I'm like, that is cold, but very accurate and
Oh,
definitely something
we've
that
all
I
dealt
like
with
gravitated
we've all
towards.
dealt with somebody who was being pushy because they had that itch, right? Like someone was looking for money or a place to stay, or they were just being annoying. Ever since I started streaming, I've had to
Yeah.
deal with a few people. Krendar, if you remember, Money Nazi way back in the day, also known as Finball.
No, I don't really.
He'd be like episode
But
14 or something.
yeah, I don't know. But another thing they tend to do is insist on going into every single Irish pub they see when they're walking down the street.
Now, here's the beautiful thing about that. That's cultural heritage. I get a free pass. When
you're just checking up on how the Americans are appropriating your culture
absolutely, and you know what? I
and
think the
doing it
Canadians.
very
I think
badly in every case.
yeah. Well,
Well, yeah,
what
because
can I
our
say?
brand of beer is basically mud water.
It
No, it's just
was
that their style of Irish pubs, they're just regular bars that call themselves Irish pubs. They're not Irish style pubs at all. Unlike
except for that
Canada's,
one.
we appropriate culture way better than the Americans do.
It did, but
I was gonna
I
say, you
did.
mean like how
I did
all the
like that one
Chinese
on South
restaurants
Street.
aren't actually Chinese?
Well, there was that one at the very end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was South
The
Street, and
last place
then
we went before the airport on the way home.
oh no,
That was actually
that was
legit.
Tirnanog, which I did not know was
Yes.
that was a chain because I went to the one in New York for years, and then I went to
Okay.
the one in Philly, and yeah, that was a tad
It
better.
was close at least.
Yeah,
It was close. It wasn't all the way there, but it was at least trying.
yeah, it was. I'd say about
Unlike
60%.
McStew's, which wasn't trying at
Mixed
all.
views. Oh Jesus Christ! You know, next time we have a meetup, it's going to be probably in Toronto because I'm not stepping foot back in America
Yeah.
until a certain orange man is not in the White House.
Oh, and
Um,
me too. Me too.
So when we're there, we have to find the Toronto Irish pubs.
Hey, I mean, if shit keeps going south in the States, I might find myself up in Canada as a permanent resident.
Oh God, there's just
Never
it's
know.
just got to be giant refugee camps up there around the border. So they better be doing it in the summertime because I don't think you want to go up in Buffalo in fucking January, you know.
No.
Um, but I've got a few things. Like number one, were you aware of what you were going to do inside like in terms of therapy, the routine, what the actual building itself was going to be like? Was there anything that really took you by surprise when you came in? Because we've all seen like rehab in like movies or maybe we watch a documentary. But what's a stand up in real life?
I mean, when I first got there, I was scared. I mean, I almost felt like I was a child, essentially, like just being thrown into like I don't know, like given up for adoption is the first thing that comes to mind. But I think it was just the uncertainty is the main thing that got me. But after a couple of days, once I was kind of used to like how things worked there, I'm like it became clockwork to me, and it wasn't that bad. It was just the first 2 weeks that I think were really the toughest part. The first couple of days for sure,
Mm.
but once I had settled in and like gotten to know everybody and was kind of like part of the group, then of course you had the new people coming in and they were looking to you like, all right, hey, where's this at? Where's that at? It's kind of like you had that little bit of I don't want to necessarily say seniority because like it didn't matter if you were there for 3 weeks or if you were there on your first day, everybody was treated equally. Aside from like people getting used to the program and everything like that, but obviously the people that have been there for a minute, they expect you to kind of help out with the counselors and whatnot to help them tell everybody where everything is, how to get here, how to get there, what time everything is, that kind of shit. Coordinate with them. But yeah, I mean, just the first couple days, it was a lot of uncertainty. Like, I don't know if I can do this. I'm scared. I'm worried about. I was worried about my cats first off. I mean, I knew they were being taken care of by people that I knew would take care of them, and I was going to get them back once I was done with all the rehabilitation. I got one of them back, and then I'll get the other one back once I find my own place. But yeah, it was just all the uncertainty and everything like that that really got me at first. But once I settled in, as I said, I mean, from there it was just clockwork. And it was just like, all right, let's just finish this shit up, get out of here, and then get on with the rest of our lives.
Um, did Did you make any friends? You make any?
I
Any
did
contacts?
actually. Yeah, there's this older guy named Rob Quaid. He was actually the first one to notice the changes in me because he said when I first came in, he said I looked like a fucking zombie from The Walking Dead. And then about middle of third week, he actually like me and him were just shooting the shit. And he's like, when you first came in, like, you look like one of those zombies from The Walking Dead, but now you're like a totally different person. I'm like, I feel like a different person. I'm actually cognitively aware of what's going on around me. I can actually remember what I did the previous day and everything like that. And me and him, we still keep in touch. Matter of fact, I need to reach out to him either today or tomorrow. But yeah, we routinely keep in touch. There was another one I befriend. I wouldn't say necessarily befriended, but I got along with him. He's this like older guy. I mean, the dude's got to be like mid-70s or something like that. He cannot work a phone to save his life. Bless him and everything like that. But he doesn't know how to work a phone to save his life, even though he has one. His name was Don. We called him Grandpa because he was literally the oldest guy there. I don't remember what addiction he had. I think I might have just been drinking, like me. There's another guy. He was my roommate for the last week I was there. He was a little eccentric, a little gib gabby, but overall a nice dude. I'm friends with him on Facebook. He and I got our VA cards together. I guess he didn't get his, although I mean that was about 2 weeks ago, the last time we even made contact, because he was telling me he didn't get his. I'm like, well, I got mine, so I don't know what to tell you, buddy. Other than go check with them and ask and make sure they mailed it to the right address. But yeah, like I looked at my VA card, and this was when I still had like long hair. I hadn't shaved or trimmed or anything like that. I look at that photo, I'm like, oh, okay, we're getting this shit changed as soon as we can, because my God, I look like dog shit.
Do you have it
I look
before
like
and
I have a
after?
bald spot. No, but I should definitely take a picture of that VA card, at least a portrait of myself on there, and then take a picture of me now, because it is night and day. Like, it is absurd how different I learned how I used to look. I might actually take a pic of myself. I'll DM it to both of you after we go off the air or what have you.
Yeah, I wouldn't show it on screen without your consent or anything like that, so it'd be fine.
Oh yeah, yeah.
No, it's fine. I am curious though, because it's been so long now that I went from drinking every week to maybe once a month, except for like special occasions. That's where I'm at right now, and I won't lie, around about the 4 or 5 week mark, I kind of start feeling a little bit angsty. But I've also been hitting the weights and hitting the not the treadmill. That poor thing broke down. The exercise bike, and also above all else, eating so much healthier. My God, and it's been so much of a life changer because I feel like I'm full of energy. I'm able to get a really good night's sleep. As soon as this is over, I'm gonna read an hour. I'm gonna listen to an hour of an audiobook I've been currently going through and drift off to sleep. And wake up around about 7 or 8 in the morning, which to me is quite early. For most people, it'd be like, what? You sleep in for an extra 2 hours or whatever. Um, but like I'm really, really like trying to do better, and it's paying off. And I can imagine for you, it's like that, but 1,000 times better because you were in such a bad place, and now you're in a much, much better place now, and it must feel fucking amazing.
Yeah, it does. And I was looking for. It might have been on Facebook. I don't remember who all I sent this to, but oh wait, I did send it to him, and this will be a lot quicker for me to find. Oh, okay. So while I was in rehab, I went on the treadmill. We had gym. I think it was. Yeah, it was Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. Some Saturdays. There were a couple Saturdays where the guy wasn't there, but anyways, on the treadmill, I did this on max incline, so 15 for us. I don't know if it's different over in Ireland or the UK or Canada or anything like that, but ended up getting 37.14 miles. That was 6,914 calories burned, and my total time on the treadmill was 9 hours and 10 minutes. I kept taking photos of my results. So basically, how many miles, how many calories, how long I was on the treadmill, and yeah, I was clocking in roughly 40 minutes every time I went on there. So yeah, I burned an ass load of calories. I was hoping to get to 10K before I left, but I only got to closer to 7,000. But yeah, like Jesus, I mean, again, I came in there weighing like 233 pounds, and now I'm at like 195. And my goal was to get between 195 and 200. So now I'm like, okay, we're good. We don't need to lose any more weight.
Have you
So yeah,
also noticed? Have you found it hard to get back to eating healthily now that you're in control of your own diet again?
actually, I find it easier for me to chow down on stuff. Before I mean, I would go like whole days without eating. Like when I was heavy drinking, I would go like a cup, maybe 2 or 3 days max without eating a whole hell of a lot. Like I would snack here and there, but yeah, there were days where I did nothing but drink.
Oh, I almost
Obviously, I
wish I
had
could have
water.
that because
Oh, dude, yeah.
no, just it would save me on the weight loss thing because I'd be one of those drunks that when they get drunk they'd be like, oh, I'm gonna make a whole thing of pasta, and I make like a meal for six just for me with like a whole thing of cheese and a whole thing of sauce and a whole thing of pasta, and it's glorious. But then
And
obviously
it's one portion.
yeah, I would often just get the pot, sit it down in front of of it with like my idea of like heaven would be kind of like Cobes's, where it would just be a mountain of food, mountain of drink, and as much as I can watch, and then I'd wake up the next morning and go, why the fuck did I do all that? Oh, I feel terrible. I needed a drink. You know, like-
That was basically me. I mean, shit, it would be yeah, because I would just drink until I was too fucking sleepy to do anything else, and then if I had a glass left over, like if it was a quarter full, half full, whatever, I just put it in the fridge, go lay down, fall asleep, wake up at like I don't even think I paid attention to what the fucking time I was waking up.
yeah,
I
time
would
stops being
immediately go
useful.
into the fridge. Yep, I go into the fridge, grab the glass, and
Well, you can't
back to
waste
the
it,
races
can
I
you?
went.
That's the thing. It'd be a sin to
Yeah.
waste it. And now that you've had one, you might as it just repeats the fucking process. Eventually you find that your wallet's empty, and that's when you stop completely. That's how I
Well,
do
I
it.
said this joke. So I think it was every other morning they would breathalyze you at the rehab clinic to make sure you're not doing anything you shouldn't be doing. And when I blew a 0.00 for the first time over there, which was the first time I took it, I was like, that's probably the first time I've blown a 0.00 since like 2018. And then the nurse was like, that's not a good thing. I'm like, that was clearly a joke. Like, come on, lady, bear with me.
Well, she's probably
Like,
remember, like for her, it's probably like an actual thing she has to deal with.
I mean, yeah, but I was hoping the way that I said it conveyed that I was joking. Although I guess I was kind of being serious, but at the same time, it was meant to be a lighthearted joke. Because yeah, 20 like the end of 2018, all the way up till February of this year, I was an uncontrolled fucking disaster. Like it is a fucking strange miracle that I didn't get pulled over for, DUI or anything like that. I don't know how the fuck I managed to pull that shit off, but I don't have to worry about that anymore because I am not going back the way that shit was. And the thing I would often repeat to the counselors whenever they would ask us, like, what do you want to take away from rehab? Which, by the way, that question got redundant towards about the latter end. I was like, okay, I'm getting sick of asking that question because I'm like, I'm just gonna give you the same fucking answer every time. But anyways, I digress. I was telling them that like I want to be the person I used to be, before I turned into the heavy drinker, but have the wisdom of what I was when I was heavy drinking, so that way I have the best of both worlds going forward. So that way I'm clean, sober me, or at least functioning me. But then anytime let's say by chance I have a beer in hand or a glass of whiskey in hand or anything like that, I will look at that glass or that bottle and be like, you remember what you used to be like and how you damn near lost your entire livelihood? Keep that in mind whenever you take a sip of this, if you take a sip of this. And also remember, nobody controls that glass going into your mouth but you. You
Yep,
know,
it's an animate
you
object. It doesn't care if you throw it away. It doesn't care if you drink it.
exactly. And there was something I said, and I mean, I went on this profound tirade. It was kind of a rant against myself. Oh, actually, yeah. I remember where I posted it now. Give me one moment. Um, I might need to do a little bit of digging. I'm not going to say the whole thing because it's kind of a mouthful, but I'll post it in the group chat if I can find the damn channel. There's so many damn channels here. Let's see.
Are we an hour in already?
I
Yeah, well, we're over an hour.
Yeah.
Everyone, if you've been enjoying so far, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. I think we're I think in a minute we can move on unless you've got something else you want to add to it.
I mean, I posted the thing in the yeah, and the part that I wanted to really get on is the bottom part, and that is like I don't blame the alcohol, I don't blame the marketing, advertising, business, any of that shit, or the clerk selling the stuff. Like the only person who filled those glasses, put them in my hand, was me. So change was needed. I made the changes necessary, and I'm gonna commit to this shit. But yeah, I mean, it's still it's a struggle I'm gonna have to deal with for the rest of my life. There's no like, oh yeah, I did it, I did the thing, yay, I'm good to go. It's like no.
Eventually, it'll just become
against this
more natural that you're not
Second.
drinking than you are. So you just
Yeah,
have to.
that's true.
And by constantly dwelling on it doesn't help. You have to simply let it fade out. And in your day to day, eventually there will come a moment where you'll be tempted, and that's when you'll know if it's working or not. Now here's the thing: if it doesn't, don't do one of two things. One, don't beat yourself up too much. Just acknowledge, like any like trying to lose weight or trying to quit smoking or don't spend too much or whatever you're into. Don't beat yourself up too much about it, but don't use that as an excuse to slip back into bad habits. And two, if you could, I'm sure you've been told all this. You have a buddy you can call, right? You've got your what do they call it when somebody is like your life? Is it your lifeline? Is that what it's called?
Yeah, you might be thinking of sponsor.
That's the word. Yeah, sponsor. Do you have one of them?
Yeah, I got one.
All right. So just always keep that contact detail nearby, and because that's what they're there for when you're tempted.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Oh, and on this same vein, I've always wondered about, especially in America, were you hinted at or slightly pushed towards joining any sort of like religious organization or going to mass or anything like that?
Funny you mentioned that because they popped by because they're like spirituality heals all. I'm like, it doesn't fucking heal shit for me.
yeah.
I'm sorry.
It's disgusting how they prey on people in their weak moments. Honestly,
let's replace one addiction with another.
Well, I mean, they tried with me, but like a lot. I mean, even some of the older guys were looking at them like, "What the hell? Like, are you possessed? Like, what's going on with you?" There was this one guy. He I forget his name, but he was a Muslim. Very loose Muslim, I might add. But anyways, we had these people come in, and I mean, they were like some. What were they called? They were called Narcotics Anonymous. I felt like I was listening to some cold, weird shit going on. Like these people were fucking loopy. And the thing that this guy said to me, and I did not expect this to come out of his mouth because of just like how well, this is before I knew he was loosely like a Muslim. Like he follows. I don't know how to describe him. I didn't get to know him long enough, but he would sit next to me as these people were doing their thing, and then they were handing out like candy and pamphlets and shit like that. And he's like, "What in the goddamn Looney Tunes hell did I just listen to?" I could not control my laughter because I did not expect him to say that. I had to choke it. I just like looked away, and I'm just like, just trying not to while they're handing out all their shit. And then I told him like after like they had cleared out, and it was just us like inpatients or whatever. I told him I'm like, I've heard some funny shit coming out of people's mouths that I never expected, and that one might take the cake. He's like, "Well, man, I didn't know what the hell was going on with these people." I'm like, "I didn't either. I just did not. Like, you got me off guard with that one, bro."
Well, yeah, that's like westernized Muslim. Like they get a lot of people forget this, but so long as they integrate more with other cultures, any group just kind of mellows out. The opposite is when you give them a fucking enclave and separate them from. Well, I mean, you ghettoify them in the most traditional sense. Then you're shocked that they become very insular and, dare I say, radical. Yeah, you integrate. You smooth. Everyone all bundles up together. We become the Goobacks from South Park. You know, chicken sandwich. That's the future that we should be aiming for, without the whole urban decay and massive unemployment. Although it looks like we're going to get that anyway.
Yep.
But you know, at the very least, our food's going to be fucking amazing when we can afford to eat. We're going to have the whole world to pick from. Yeah, I think we should as we're past the halfway point. Anything you want to wrap up with, and then we can move back to more upbeat and silly shenanigans.
I'll just say, I mean, if anybody's going through the same motions that I've been going through, and I mean, it's not the same for everybody. Everybody's got their own journey and story and whatnot, and their own struggles and everything like that. If you want somebody to reach out to just chit chat with or whatever, like, hey, I have this addiction problem, how am I handling this? Let me know. I'll talk to you. I'll listen to you, anyways, because I think that's one of the key components about, you know, help somebody else, listening to what they have to say, not talking, not preaching or lecturing, is just listen to what the other person has to say.
Yeah.
So that way you have as best understanding as possible of what they're going through, so you can tell them the best possible thing you can tell them, but, you know, make them feel in control. But anyways, I'm rambling, but yeah, again, if anybody has anything they want to come talk to me about, DMs are open.
You're in the right podcast for that anyway. So yeah, that's well done, man. Like I mean, you can only really say it's finished when it's just no longer. My friend Claire was a drunk before I met her, and she fell off the wagon. Big shock after she hung out with me. She so I was there at her highest points and the lowest points. She does okay now. She doesn't even think about drinking that way, to the point where she can actually have a glass of champagne for like New Year's and just leave it at that. But I once asked her, like, do you miss drinking? And she turned to me and she said, I feel like I'm not sober. I'm just a dry drunk right now. Like, she was waiting for the whole everything to be perfect for her to fall off the wagon. And I now looking back at it, it really is just down to your mindset. So yeah, when you get tempted, man, just go at it with the same sort of confidence you're showing here, and the same sort of strength you used to get in the door in the first place. And
it's all about
should be okay. Yeah.
It's all about self-discipline.
And if you fuck up, you fuck up. You can try again tomorrow.
Or even we make mistakes.
But yeah. So that was very interesting. So let's see what we can go into. How about on the same topic here? From 1977, driving on 4 pints and 7 whiskeys. After all that.
That used to be a Thursday afternoon for me.
Oddly enough, you're not even the first person to say that. I suppose you ever met Drunken Crow by any chance? No shock. Like attracts like, and I've attracted more than my fair share of drunks in my time.
Here is stone cold sober, and he's a highly skilled driver. Along with 8 others, most of them ordinary drivers like you and me, he's agreed to take part in a controlled drinking and driving experiment on a course designed and laid out by engineers of the traffic section of Dublin County Council.
What's up with the fucking dog? Get the dog out of there!
Seems like a bad idea.
Is no one gonna move the dog?
A closed car park under the watchful eye of the Department of Forensic Medicine at University College Dublin. The course itself is simple enough. It demands no special abilities, just the care and attention you'd normally exercise on the roads. And it incorporates the usual driving maneuvers, reversing, parking, tight turns, and so on, in a more concentrated form than you'd meet on the roads.
He's a fairly decent driver, in all fairness.
For someone like
Bit of a
this,
lead
it
foot,
presents
but
no
he's not
problem.
fucking up
And
too
he's
bad.
enjoying himself, showing us just how it's done.
Yeah, but remember, he's driving a 70s car. That thing is like just a brick. You know, that ain't
And
gonna
they nobody realizes how crazy the Top Gear pilot episode was.
Yeah, it was 1977. That's when the first Top Gear did appear. Old Gear, as we used to call it.
And still do.
Oh, Jesus Christ! I'm freaking out about the dog.
Yeah. Somebody should definitely get in there and get that dog out.
Another driver here, she's a little more cautious, less confident maybe, but the layout presents no problems to her either. And of course, for some of our drivers with a background in motorsport, a chance to show off just a little bit.
And I haven't yet received a summons.
I
I'm
was
either
stripped.
gonna be in heavy or I'm gonna get out of it, right? So
Having spent the morning familiarising themselves with the course, we invited the drivers to the pub and settled in for a couple of hours drinking. Only the fact that it was midday and that a careful record of what and how much of it each driver was drinking made this any different from a normal pub scene.
That whole order came to a whopping, can you believe the inflation, of £5. My God. How did they, how are you expecting to have a good night out when everything costs so much?
And as often happens in a pub, the conversation turned to the business in hand, drinking.
The problem with drinking is that when you are stone sober and somebody asks you, are you going to, how many drinks do you need to be able to drive safely? And they say, oh, well, I can drive quite happily after, say, 4. Then they have 3. Ask them the same question. Then they say,
I'll have another
well,
one.
maybe I can drive quite well on 6.
That is such a different, what I don't know about what in the States or Canada, but over here we have changed so much towards our approach to driving, because Dublin in particular is a very, very heavily road policed area. You can't fuck around, and those fines can be brutal, and that you can even get proper good old fashioned jail time for it, as well as your license getting revoked. So everyone is dead set on being the best driver. Some people won't drive if they were drinking the day before. You go over to the States and it's a mixed bag of stuff like that, and then the stuff out in the Midwest where people will be high and drunk off their asses, going on taco runs at 2 o'clock in the morning and weaving in and out of trucks. You know, like it's...
I mean, how else is Taco Bell supposed to stay open?
Yeah.
It's not for the quality of their food.
That was actually where they were off to. Like, he was just... I'm thinking of when I was hanging out with Elf King, and they were like, oh, do you want me to pick Etten up, friend of Elf's? And he was, and like, he had just taken a massive bong here, and we'd been drinking all day, and I was like, oh, so you gotta use like a DoorDash? Like, fuck that, I'm not just giving those parasites money, I'll just get in the car. Just got in the car and drove out into the huge empty car park, and he was like, couldn't find the exit for 5 minutes. I was like, well, we're probably never gonna see him again. He came back within half an hour with all the food, not a bother. It's kind of fucking creepy, how different people's approach drink and driving.
Ask them when they've had their 5th. They say, well, after 10, no problem, I can manage. Ask them when they've had their 10th, and if they can still talk, they'll say,
I'll go.
The drinking is over, and the UCD scientists are measuring the alcohol levels in the blood using a new device called the alcometer, which may someday...
The alcometer. I have to factor that into like a future stream or something. Next time, maybe every time I like a drinking stream, or maybe if I'm fucking if we're watching someone super drunk, where did I stand on the alcometer?
They replace the breathalyzer.
Oh, you could
Simultaneous blood
you
sample.
could replace you could rename the donation meter to the alcohol meter.
Ooh, yeah. As such a yeah.
Just have your blood alcohol.
Well, let's
Your
just
blood
see if we
alcohol
can.
content like at the bottom corner.
So when someone
Yeah.
tips, we get this. Kevin topped up the pint glass, right? And then we get the body is round, standard stuff, right?
This is a test donation
So
for
yeah, that could
66
be
euros.
that could be the topped up the alcohol meter.
Samples were taken as a cross-reference,
Again, I'm not
and the two
drinking
results
all that
agreed
much
remarkably well.
anymore. It almost feels like it's a gimmick that I'm going with.
This driver had 3.5 whiskies. Her level was 87,
Jesus.
very much below the allowed limit. She's making mistakes.
Well below the limit at 6.5 whiskeys.
169, he's over the limit. If he was on the open road now, he could lose his license for a year. He seems to be doing fairly well, but he's crashed a stop sign. And now he's taken a wrong turning.
They got the dog away, I hope.
$216, he's had a skinful, 4 pints of stout and 7 whiskies. He did really well when he was sober. He's a top-class driver. But then, now there's an awful lot of alcohol in his blood.
Well, that
4
person's
pints of
brave.
stout
Fuck.
and 7 whiskies.
Why are you there?
There's another camera.
Actually, he's completely lost. He doesn't know where he is.
Oh, dear.
All he sees in
You're not
front of him
even
is a
using this
maze of
footage.
plastic cones.
I don't know where I'm going.
I think he's had enough.
He's had enough driving. He has to go back to the pub. Only 4 pints.
Yeah, right.
241. This driver has almost twice the allowed amount of alcohol in his blood. He's at the stage where he doesn't realize just how drunk he is. When he finished the course, he was under the impression that he'd done really well.
The big blocky car as well. Back when cars were just bricks. The only thing scary of being outside a car like that is being in the passenger seat or something like that. Like,
Oh yeah.
especially when you got in, you didn't realize just how shit-faced they were until you hear, and you're like, okay, I'm just gonna make sure this is nice and tight on me. Okay, yeah. You know, actually, I don't actually need to come with you for this one. I can wait for the bus. You know? No, it's fine. I get on with it. I was in a car once with too much shit like that. Knocked over a Ballard. That was fun. Jeez, hit a Ballard. Look, look.
Oh, yeah.
And that plastic cone
What's
could
that
have been a
cone
dog
doing in the middle of the
or even a
road?
child.
It jumped out in front of me.
Aren't people worried about their safety?
Yeah.
Less. That's our current prime minister there driving. Here on the same road. Actually, no, this is 100 years of animated women.
Every cartoon from this long ago sure has aged poorly. And I'm not just talking about the production quality. Oh,
Okay, Betty Boop.
Bob Bonds.
Don't you see? I'm the same housewife from the 50s, but now I'm snarky on purpose instead of just clumsy and helpless.
Like the
It's
Jetsons
not
music.
progress, but it's a living. Jeepers, we're groovy young feminists who love to solve mysteries and fight bad guys. Also, we're always in a band for some reason.
True.
Superhero cartoons are really popular now. And every
Yeah.
superhero needs a villain. Or maybe a super
Rito from
villainess.
Power Rangers.
Now tremble
Hey,
before my
Repulsa.
terrifying laser boobs. I'm just a normal
Yeah.
teenage girl, trying to live my life 22 minutes at a time. But I have a secret plot hook. I'm actually a spy.
And I can talk to animals. And I'm a witch.
I know every one of these.
And this formula
Yeah.
is gonna make billions. So I wasn't sure if I was going to talk about this today, but then I was like, this is my confessional. This is
that like,
great, eh?
Is that like Sims, like The Sims busting out one of those handheld sim games?
my story, and I deserve to be heard. I told Stacy to break up with Kevin when we were at the mall, and she looked right in my eye and said, "My name's not Stacy. I don't know you. Get away from me." And then she like totally pepper sprayed me. That's not okay.
What was that one we watched? Class of '09?
Something like, yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's what it was called.
Yo, it's time for some meta references and escapist fantasy.
Ooh.
This show is going to be a
Listen to
meme
that
for
music.
real. That is, if the people who made it don't get canceled.
The Rick and Morty songs.
Like, Summer is a really cool character, but sometimes she's just there for one lines and then fucks off. Because usually the guy who originally made the show was kind of into some really creepy stuff about incest, so whenever she showed up, it would always be sexualized. And then after he got cancelled, her characters experienced a lot of growth. But she's still annoying as shit. I actually really like this
She's
woman.
the Meg of the series.
Tawny Platts or
Tawny Plattis.
Plattis. But yeah, she does voice acting. A lot of really interesting stuff. She did a whole thing recently about AI and how it's not necessarily bad or good. It's just a tool. And she uses it for whenever she has been overbooked. She has like 10,000 lines that she's pre-recorded. And that's an example of it being used good because that's her voice. And like she's the one who's recording it. But then other people could just go and take her voice and then use it without her permission. And that would be
Without permission, without paying her. Yeah.
Or what I posted up in my Discord, the history on YouTube is currently going through a lot of problems because of just AI slop that comes out. But they too, people like Time Ghost use AI for referencing stuff. Because they've been working at this for like over 10 years, and if they need to quote something or they need to bring some up information, they have an AI system that can be used to bring up the information just immediately. Like, oh, you mentioned this 5 years ago, you don't want to be repeating yourself, so we're like, okay, yeah, we can write around that. That's again an example of it being used for the forces of good instead of the forces of evil, which is all that AI slop, which is boring or inaccurate. One of the worst I saw recently was someone reconstructed the death of Cyrus the Great, who Alexander fought. And it's this modern Arabic guy in a wheelbarrow, dead, and he has, I shit you not, a Rolex watch on. And apparently...
You're making me...
100,000 likes or views, I think, on Facebook. So it's from a big Facebook group who originally were all about history, and then was just there like, fuck this, we can just get the algorithm to do it for you. Wrong. That's not how you do it. Fuck off. You're making it worse for everyone.
Well, what pisses me off about those, because I see them all the time, and it's got like these... I don't know the name of the channel per se, but I see it on my feed all the time. And it's these giants, and it's like, this is how the pyramids were built. And all this other stuff. When I first started seeing those, I would see people posting comments like, this is fake AI slop. And I'm like, yeah, and your fucking comments putting it further up the algorithm because it doesn't register what the comment says. It just registers that a comment was made.
So
and
you
if
look
it
to
sees a
someone
lot of
like
comments
this,
and a lot of likes,
who breaks it down, and now you're giving it to a real person who's debunking it. Best of both worlds.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, but my thing is like, if you really want all this crap to go away, like the people that, and this is more aimed at the people that post the comments like, oh, this is AI garbage or whatever the fuck. It's like, if you want that shit to go away, don't engage in it, because then the algorithm buries it beneath all the other stuff that's actually meaningful and worth getting.
It's layers of
attention and
algorithm
likes.
too. It's AI upon AI, and it's not that there is a human if you go back far enough, because someone had to set it off, but they're not seeing your comment and feeling bad. They're just
Right.
they're just like, oh, I'm gonna get a slow trickle of revenue, and the AI will do everything else, and that's scummy. But you're not gonna fix it by making like a big scene about it. But if you want to see the content and mock it, then do what this
Did you
guy
guys
did.
hear that they found this under the pyramids? Because I can tell you confidently they absolutely did not find this under the pyramids. I'm sure y'all have also seen a bunch of these conspiracy accounts posting images like this, claiming that they just discovered these 8 2-kilometer long structures hidden underneath the pyramids. But you know what you might not have seen? The actual data that they got. Are you guys ready for this? This is gonna blow your fucking mind. This, and they interpreted it as this. Are you fucking with me? This data was obtained using SAR technology, which is pretty much like doing an ultrasound from high Earth orbit. Then the researchers didn't bother to get anything published and just went straight to a press conference with the public, claiming that they found this. It's so wildly misleading that it's actually kind of hilarious. And I just made a video talking about how stupid this is over on YouTube.
Also, why are they giant drills?
I don't know, but it's making me think of an old Thunderfoot video where he was debunking that cement power supply idea that was floating around for like a year.
Never heard of it.
It looked very similar to that. Here is...
Sounds insane though, but I've never heard of it.
Yo, it's ridiculous. It's one of those. It's almost like one of those Dar Salat sort of concepts. The idea being that the cement would... these cement blocks would always be in motion. They're trying to. It's a joke from The Simpsons where you accidentally create a perpetual motion machine. So the laws of physics don't work with that. But because it creates energy, some douchebags tried to market it as like this unlimited free energy source, and people like Thunderfoot were like, "This is why that doesn't make any sense. For starters, you have to put energy into it more than the energy required outwards." Also, and then he broke down all the other reasons why. It's on the plus side, here's tech being used as kind of cool.
By meeting a real-life superhero,
Yeah,
aren't we?
after contracting meningitis when she was just 15 months old, Tilly Lockie's hands were amputated to save her life. But through state-of-the-art bionic arms, she's been able to live a life to the fullest.
Oh shit, she's
Tilly is now
Gwenpool now.
19 years old, and yesterday became the first person to get the most advanced wireless hands in the world, which are incredibly
I think I saw a clip of this.
controlled by her mind.
Tilly joins us now alongside robotics engineer
a few seconds.
and all-round clever clogs who helped design her hands, Joel Gibbett. Welcome, both of you.
Yeah, welcome.
Tilly, I haven't seen you for ages. You came on the show a few years ago, didn't you?
2020, I think you was the
Yeah,
last
yeah, a couple of times. My first time with you guys, though, so
Yeah,
nice to
meet
be chilling with you.
It's nice to have
for
you back,
Drip
Tilly.
Barrymore,
Let's start at the beginning for people who don't know the story. You were just 15 months when you contracted meningitis.
Yeah.
It came at a cost. You lost both of your hands at the time. And
I want to get
the thing is, with something like this, it's such a big thing. Do you even remember,
I wasn't just adopting it as my hand. Like, I just didn't really know what was even going on at that point. So it's been a journey.
Yeah. It's been a journey. Now, obviously, you're here to show off your
dexterous,
new bionic arms.
Yes.
I've been watching you on Instagram, actually. It's so interesting. So tell me about these arms that you've got at the moment.
So these are the brand new Hero Pro. We had the Hero Arm, and this is Hero Arm next level upgrade. So they're pretty
how
cool.
often she has to
They're
change the
still, like,
batteries,
3D
eh?
printed, muscle operated, but we've got all this extra capabilities now, which is really, really cool.
And Joel, you actually designed these. What got you into bionics?
Well, probably playing with...
Here comes Cyberpunk, eh?
Here comes Science Dar coming in now as another Krendar for the mix.
This is clearly Scienticus.
So yeah, he is a little bit closer to Magicus vibe. Magicus, if he hadn't discovered the horrors of Wendy's, he would be... Hold on, I'm actually going to screen cap this and send this to Magicus.
Yeah, this version of him never discovered Magic the Gathering, so he had all this extra time to study science.
Yeah,
and robotics instead.
In a lot of ways, he ever since I started streaming, it's just been like that movie. Was it the number 23? You start seeing number 23 everywhere, but it's just different versions of Krendar and Magicus and anyone who is. They're all just the same person. By the way, Commissar Feelgood has a theory behind that. She says that you have the dude face. Every fourth or fifth guy just has the same face in her mind.
How dare she? I mean, she's right, but I don't have that. How dare she?
Yours is different. Okay, let's on the same thing as tech, being positive.
Wait, wasn't there? Hold on. Wasn't there another aspect to her hands that we totally missed out on? Like they detach, don't they?
Yeah, I mean they would have to detach.
It'll be like the clip I saw. Like one of the hands was detached, but she was still controlling it. At what distance? Like Bluetooth or something.
I mean, we can go back and look at it, but I mean, we're getting.
Let's just skip ahead to see if it's there. That's all.
Okay. Reopen close tab then. No, not that close tab.
Don't worry about it. People can look it up if they want to see it.
Yeah.
That was when I said I saw a brief clip of it before. Like it was her like watching her left hand as it crawled across the floor, kind of thing.
We already did a tech thing anyway. How about we see something we haven't seen in a surprisingly long amount of time? Boop. Southwest passenger sparks debate after making over-the-top demands of flight.
Hey, this is a very timely article, considering I'm going to be on a plane next month.
I'll just be sure that's you don't act.
Not this airline though, that's for sure.
But I need my son to be near me. My husband has autism. He can sit by himself.
Okay, that's an interesting.
So if you have to put me in that very last spot and I just won't get up, that's fine. But I thank the captain. Can you help me with this? Throw that wherever.
Yes. Well, I mean, but you're making so many advances.
No.
Go at this point.
Just go. Just leave. I mean, just go. Take off. I'll deal with it afterwards.
Well, we're not going to have this chaos in the air.
Oh, it's not chaos.
It is.
Well,
you're making it into chaos,
I'm sorry
love.
if I sound chaotic.
Okay. Here's your son and your dad.
Somebody's.
It's not chaos. I just want to get what I want.
Yeah. Especially for the flight attendant.
Well, just sit here and be quiet. Can you please help me?
I can.
Because she can't.
No, I
Yes,
will.
sir. Can you please help me?
Oh, I hate that voice that people do. You have to do what I say because I am in some way impaired, so that means I outrank you in the social hierarchy. And then when they don't get what they want, they just go a higher octave, and it actually makes my hand curl into a fist. And I know in some circumstances, I would have been done for hitting people like that, just right across the jaw. Which is the most useless thing to do, but my God, it would feel satisfying. I completely know that's not what you do, but my ape brain is like, must make bad noise go away.
Oh, we can go.
No, that's not his responsibility. I'm here to help, but I'm not going to sit here and be berated.
I am not trying to berate you.
You are berating her, though.
Thank you that hit my foot.
Oh, I hit my foot. Yeah, no, boo. And she's gonna say that she's gonna be bullied now. Good. Deserve to be bullied. I've no respect for you. I don't care if you're disabled. Like, I'm sure they were doing everything they could, but she's struggling enough to deal with hundreds of other people on a plane flight that is gonna have many annoying people on it, and there's going to be tons of things that she can't control. And what if there's a delay? What if there's anything? You have to work with the flight attendants because they're stuck on the big flying smelly tube too. We're all here just to get to another place, except for them, who's bound to the smelly flying tube. They got to do it again and again. It's not a very glamorous job. It's a lot of people think it is. Maybe for like the big top airlines like Qantas, not Qantas, Qatar Airways and stuff like that, where you can pose like a tool in like Kuwait City or like Abu Dhabi or something like that. But no. Here is text. Oh, This is Fredo.
Texas to test America's first Autobahn-style highway with no speed.
Square. Why? Why is he
This is Autobahn-style highway in America. This is gonna fucking go well.
And in Texas too. But he looks like a villager from the Minecraft movies. Why?
Test? Brother, what you mean test? Have you ever been to Texas? It's been that way the whole time, fam. Don't nobody do the speed limit here. Like, doing the speed limit in Texas is liable to get you shot by somebody with road rage. I don't think the cops do the speed limit here. You have to drive just as fast as everybody else just to stay alive. But, like, in Texas, it's the only state where on the signs, they'll just blatantly lie to you. You be going down the street, and you'll see a sign, like the little light up joint. They'll say, drive friendly the Texas way. Ain't nothing friendly about the way they drive in Texas, bro. I just got back from a trip where I had my turn signal on for 2 miles trying to get in the right lane so I didn't miss a turn, because in Texas, if you miss a turn, it can make a whole nother day be added to your trip.
Yeah.
Somebody damn near hit me before they let me turn, fam. So I was like, nah, I don't think that's the thing, but a turn signal in Texas is more like a statement, fam. So you got to get in that mindset. When you turn that turn signal, you are going to turn and they should move out the way. If you don't do it that way, bro, you're going to end up in a whole nother state before somebody lets you over. So yeah, Texas.
He is not wrong. He is not wrong.
Texas has a different concept of space and time. We were saying that I think last week when we were talking about how Egghead should go over to Jared for the to challenge him for a fight, and he's like, oh well, he's not he's a good couple of 100 miles away between each other, but Texas is built different in terms of time and space, so they overshoot into another time zone.
Yeah, well, I mean, like back in what was it? It was like 2020. I think it might have been 2020 because I was still fuck. I don't remember when it was. Anyways, back when I was still in the Air Force, I had to drive to Texas. Actually, I had to go there twice. Both times were training related. Yeah, I drove there and I got through, Alabama, Mississippi, Louisiana, no time at all. It felt like I literally zipped through there. You get to Texas, suddenly you start to feel the grind of how long it takes to go through that fucking state. It is ridiculous how big that state is. This is like you look at it on a map and whatnot, and it's big, but like once you actually drive through halfway through it or whatever, you're like, good lord, how is this one state?
I mean, a lot of people around, context is key. A lot of people in Ireland, they think going to the next county over is going to take forever, and it's only a half hour ride. Like you can drive from one end of Ireland to the other in about 4, maybe 5 hours if you're really careful. Like you're still like 4 Texases away from another border. You can lose Ireland and Texas so many times. And other states too, like California being super long and fucking Alaska being just a big open thing. And of course, outside of the cities in Canada, it's just endless nothing of fields and mountains and forests. It's just context, and I've never really talked too much about to Russians, but I can imagine the ultimate example is just how Russians perceive space and time, because just how huge their country is.
Siberia.
Yeah, like they probably think that, oh yeah, it is Russia, but it's also another planet. Like we just go to another planet that's Siberia that is also somehow Russia.
Russia technically touches 3 different continents. It touches Europe, Asia, and kind of barely just taps North America.
Yep. All right, so here is trying food in Slovenia.
Everything I ate on my trip to Ljubljana. I started with a mortadella burrata and pistachio sandwich, which I'll give a very respectable 7 out of 10, and then had a pistachio-filled pastry that looked a lot better than it tasted, which I'm giving a very disappointing 4 out of 10. I decided to be spontaneous and get a cheeky little Balkan burger from a greasy little takeaway that made me feel violently ill, so it gets a 1 out of 10.
Oh.
And then I went and had the exact same thing, but in a much posher restaurant, which I'll give a good 8 out of 10. And I polished that off with a very interesting, traditional Slovenian-laid dessert. And everyone's going to hate me when I tell you where I went next, because I've seen hundreds of comments complaining about this whenever I travel. But yes, I had tacos again, and it was a really great little taco spot in the middle of the city, and it gets a solid 9 out of 10. And finished the entire trip with the weirdest thing I had, which was a horse burger from Hot Horse, which was an experience that I'd give a 6 out of 10, with the highlight being the Ivar that came with the chips.
Ivar. Like, no idea.
I wonder what that is. Yeah.
Hold on. Let's. Hold
being the Ivar.
AJVR. Check it out there, Krandar.
Sure.
Advar. Looks tangy, whatever it is.
Primarily a relish made from roasted red bell peppers, eggplant, and other ingredients like oil, garlic, and vinegar. Sounds good.
Yeah. Here is why German pumpernickel is a bread like no other. Well, it has the funniest name.
I do love
Even
pumpernickel.
in Germany, the land of bread, this bread is
Germany, the land of bread. Okay.
I do love pumpernickel, but that might be because I'm German.
Yeah.
something special. Pumpernickel is made without wheat flour. Bakes for what seems like an eternity and may even have
blocks of hash.
gotten its name from
Right.
Napoleon. Here's everything you need to know about this bread that's exported to almost 100
Napoleon
countries.
pumpernickel.
Da kann also das Emsland und auch Westfalen stolz drauf sein, weil wir haben
Wow, Landon's really let himself go.
in dieser Region, in Bayern oder Berlin, da ist kein Bäcker in der Lage, so ein Brot zu backen.
Emsburen in northwestern Germany is home to Günther Enking's bakery. He turns a ton of pumpernickel dough into bread every day. He used to make 3 times as much.
A literal metric ton.
Even though production has gone down, there's no immediate danger that it will stop. There are just too many people who swear by this rye bread as an alternative to breads made with wheat.
Weizenbrot.
I like rye in general, honestly.
Ist, bei weitem
You
nicht
can't eat too much of it on its own, though, or else you'll be rushing to the toilet. It'll go right through you.
Das wird ja komplett
not Russian, German.
Das haben wir ja
Hey.
nicht. Wir nehmen ja das komplette Korn mit Schale, daher die hohen Ballaststoffe und daher ist es so gesund.
Also sourdough.
Pumpernickel generally
Sourdough
uses
also
very
very good.
few ingredients, but Günther's is even more minimalist. While other bakers might add sourdough, syrup, or preservatives, he sticks to the essentials.
Fuck the syrup.
Die Zutaten sind sehr, sehr simpel. Wir haben hier einmal unser Roggenschrot.
Add your own shit after it's done.
Und dann haben wir natürlich Salz. Das sind die einzigsten
Yeah,
Zutaten.
yeah, toppings and
die
whatnot.
Zutaten, die wir gebrauchen. Und was natürlich dann fehlt, ist Wasser. Das war's.
Pumpernickel
Wasser.
is one of the oldest
Ist
types of
Wasser.
German bread. It was being baked in Westphalia in the 16th century. The bread keeps for years in a tin, making it the ideal emergency ration.
Hier war es früher so,
Dos.
die Leute, die schwer arbeiten mussten, die Landwirte, die Bauern, die mussten satt werden. Und ich
Over
weiß von
here,
meinem
we
Großvater,
called something like that brack.
die Erzählung, die kamen immer hier hin und die kriegten ganze Brote mit. Das erste Stück kriegte das Pferd musste ja auch satt werden, musste ja auch arbeiten.
The few ingredients are kneaded into a dough. It then comes into loaf pans, which give the pumpernickel its traditional shape. A pumpernickel baker needs one virtue above all: patience. Günther's pumpernickel is baked at a temperature of just 120 degrees Celsius for a full 24 hours.
There are so many jokes I could be making right now, but I'm not going to. I am better than that. We are looking at bread. It is wholesome.
Das Brot gart im eigenen
It's because they're
Dampf.
German and it's an oven.
Und
Don't
in
mean
diesem langen
nothing.
Backprozess spaltet der Zucker von dem Getreide auf und dadurch kriegen wir
Which
dann
they have
das
enough
süße-
ovens,
süßen
though.
Geschmack.
To make.
Many
What
legends
did Nick
surround the
Fuentes call
origin
it?
of pumpernickel's
Cookies.
name.
They couldn't be
Some
baking
say
that many
Napoleon
cookies.
named the bread while visiting this region. Others say the name stems from the bread's easy digestibility.
I like the packaging.
Man hat also Napoleon das Brot gegeben, der soll es probieren, der soll es essen und der hat gesagt, das soll ich essen, gibt's meinen Pferden. Jetzt hieß das Bonpur, gut für Pferd hieß Nickel, aus Bonpur Nickel haben die Pumpernickel gemacht. Die andere Geschichte, zu Pumpernickel kann man auch übersetzt Pupsheini sagen. Vom Namen her Pumpernickel, Pumpern, Furzen. Und der Nickel war früher nichts anderes wie ein alter Heini, ein alter Kauz. Aber man wollte dieses Boot nicht Pupsheini nennen, haben es Pumpernickel genannt.
The traditional way to eat pumpernickel is with something hearty. But it's also good with something
German
sweet.
is hearty.
Yes,
Like this
absolutely.
pumpernickel cake that Günther offers in his Mill Cafe.
Including this gentleman.
Yeah.
Weihnachten mache ich einen Stollen mit Pumpernickel. Es gibt ein Pumpernickel-Eis. Es gibt eine Nachspeise mit Pumpernickel. Man kann da so viel.
You don't have to bring work home all the time, guy.
Mit Pumpernickel machen kann.
Pumpernickel, a healthy alternative to wheat-based breads. Would you like
That's
to give
why
it
you need to eat 8 loaves of it a day.
try?
And then sit upon your porcelain throne.
Yeah.
That sounds like a lot of calories, but maybe you're also ejecting a lot of them. I don't
Right?
know.
You'd be wanting to have nothing else but water because you're going to be dehydrated as literal shit. Oh, here's another one from Fredo.
Fell into the grave while carrying the casket of their loved one in North Philadelphia.
So if you've been following me for a while, you've heard the story at least one time about my cousin that got killed when she was 7 months pregnant. And, you know, I've lost a lot of people in my time, man, like loss and death and stuff like that. It's just kind of like my background, you know, pain. That's what I come from. But this video made me think of it because one of the worst things I ever had to do in my life was be a pallbearer. It was at my cousin's funeral. And I didn't sign up for it. My aunt just decided it'd be best if we carried her, you know, to the site. And so, you know, me being a small kid and I was significantly shorter than everybody else, it was hard carrying that casket because the casket itself is like stupid heavy, but then there's a person inside of it and her baby.
They sometimes put like slate or like concrete in the base of some caskets, and that's before you factor in all the goddamn the wood.
Why would they do that?
It allows it makes the casket sink deeper, and that is good if you're in like a very sort of like water heavy sort of ground, because it might what happens with in Louisiana is that a lot of the caskets go up. It's why they have so many mausoleums, because no matter how much weight you put down. But ours isn't so bad. But unfortunately, my nan's did have something heavy poured inside at the base of it before the already heavy wood was put on top. In actual fact, the really cheap ones that are made out of like the stuff most crappy tables are made out of is the best because it'll dissolve quicker and the body will just be consumed by nature, you know?
In it as well. And so we take her to the hole or whatever and drop her in there and they throw dirt on her butt and it just did damage to me that I never could recover from, honestly. But I couldn't help but laugh though, because like I can feel for the family, you know. It's a funeral was a very emotional moment, man, and something like that happening, just it's gotta be rough. But I imagined what that news report sounded like. And in other news, at a local funeral, 6 injured and 1 dead.
He's always, even on the really tragic stuff, he always has a good zinger at the end there. Sir Steve-O, I believe.
Oh,
I did honor guard, and there was one guy that he was a veteran. He passed away. He himself weighed about 400 pounds, so we had 400 pounds plus however heavy the casket was, and on top of that, we had to carry him down this muddy, wet ground because it was raining. Like it was everything that went bad. It was literally Murphy's Law in effect. We actually managed to get him down to where he was supposed to be, but like our shoes were ruined and our pants were basically screwed. So yeah, the ride back was rough.
Yeah, that don't sound all too fun. And I mean, it doesn't matter. It's bad enough to start off with because you're at a fucking funeral. So you're already off to a bit of a rough start. Oh, here we are.
How are you lads? There has been a lot of sadness and shock around the world over the last few weeks, from pandemics to the horrible killing of an unarmed black man. There are forces out there trying to drive a wedge between humanity, to separate instead of unite, to hurt instead of heal, to hinder instead of help. Now, more than ever, we need to come together as one, or we will only separate further. Remember, there is only but one race, but yet it is not a race, but a relay, with hands of all colours, passing the baton. As it is written in Corinthians, now I beseech ye, brethren, by the name of our Lord Jesus Christ,
He does a good priest
that ye
voice.
all speak of the same thing, and that there be no divisions amongst you, but that ye be perfectly joined in the same judgment.
Fair play to your father.
Me?
Of hating Trump.
I'd send them all back to fucking Africa. How you lads?
Another one, it
Is
starts
that where
off...
Trump's deporting them to?
It just starts off with him doing a line of coke. Here's another one.
Christopher was back in the play school today. You know Mary Bridges' daddy, the 3-year-old.
Yeah.
He couldn't walk on the bog.
Yeah.
He came home from the preschool today.
Did he?
And come
The
in
play
and said,
school?
Grandad, look what I drew. And sure was shite. The worst picture I ever seen, the sun with a smiley face. And I was saying, look at the sun, Christopher, out the front. Is there a sun on that, is there a smile on that fucking sun? Sure, it's a nuclear furnace burning hydrogen. And sending out photons. How the fuck could it be smiling? And little rains coming out of it.
She's not playing a role for once. She's just bursting out laughing.
If you could see it, sure, light is invisible. You can only see what it bounces off. Sure, it's basic fucking science. Einstein will tell you that. And he looking at me. You go, Grandad, what are you shouting? I'll shout to you. Christopher.
Good shit.
Oh, you want shout? I can shout.
Here is... All right, which one should we
Draining
do?
water out of air. That's magic. You can't do that.
Magic is a sin. Then this is Jesus'
Witchcraft.
unbirth.
Yeah,
Hello,
it's the
everyone.
best day
This is
to
your
sin.
daily dose of internet. He somehow created water out of thin air.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Right. Nothing.
That's called sweat.
I put on these hands. This.
Ew.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not healthy. Skaven killed you.
Here's right in your eye.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Fuck that
Well,
building.
now you got a lawsuit on your hands.
Yes. Praise the Lord.
Rightfully so.
Praise the
Oh,
Lord.
poor baby.
Either
Being
this car is
brainwashed.
really light, or these people are really strong.
Maybe a bit of both.
It's probably an electric car or something.
Hey! Actually worked.
What the hell?
He was trying to think of the best way to get down
Nice.
the stairs.
Come on,
Popper.
let's go. Come on. Come on.
This guy came over to pick up the TV stand that he just bought off
Gonna
of
be covered in ticks now.
Facebook Marketplace.
It did soften the fall though.
Lovely, mate. Thank you very much.
no worries.
Thank you. Oh, he's got it.
Cheers, mate. No
Thank you.
Nice.
This is what it looks
Every time I've worked with Facebook Marketplace, perfectly fine. But I've never just left something out there. I've always come out and actual met the person.
like when a professional stuntman films for a movie.
Yep. Yep.
Oh.
They're actually this year only now they're adding in best stunts to the Oscars. Only now.
Oh, that's good.
It's a tragedy, is what it is. All the years.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it's good that they're doing it. It's bad that it took this long.
This is why you don't put clothes on animals.
This
Dogs
video
or
footage
cats.
is a little rough, but this car in front of them
Dogs used to
flipped a
like it.
manhole cover right into their windshield.
Oh.
Oh.
Damn! It like side coined right into it. Fuck's sake.
That's probably why this person didn't die.
Standing.
I saw that coming, but it's still great.
Yeah.
There was a pretty big earthquake in California a few days ago, and these elephants made a circle around the youngest to protect it.
Aww.
Yeah, I remember seeing this.
Baby.
This was recent. I said this was earlier this week.
This cruise ship went through some pretty crazy waters near Antarctica.
Jesus. I've been on a much smaller boat that did stuff like this. It's surreal, and you gotta wonder just how strong the boat is at that point.
Oh yeah.
This is how you can tell when a pineapple is ripe or not.
Not ripe. Not ripe. Oh, ripe pineapple.
They both got the zooming.
I've been eating.
Wonder if that's true.
Eating a tin of pineapple every day and drinking tons of pineapple juice. That's my sugar intake for the day. It's been pretty great.
Is at the same time.
This is why pineapple's good for weight loss, because it eats you.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Apparently, though, not great for the teeth.
And it's delicious.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you should probably brush your teeth immediately after.
I tend to have it with my breakfast, so sometimes I have my breakfast before I brush my teeth, but increasingly doing it like a normal person and have my brush my teeth first thing in the morning.
I always wait till after breakfast. Personally.
I do too.
Always been that way, really. But then I meet people who are like, "What's wrong with you? Brush your teeth the very first thing you do when you wake up." And that so it's kind of like, maybe that's like the new thing that people will try to have an argument, like, which way do you do this?
Yeah.
Which way do you do that?
I feel like I think that's a weird policy if you're going to eat immediately, but it makes sense if you're not going to eat for like if you're not going to have breakfast and you're just going to be like, I'll just wait 2 or 3 hours and then have lunch.
Well,
then brush your teeth immediately. But
that and like the toothpaste. I mean, like you got to figure that you're going to have that minty taste in your mouth, and it's going to affect the flavor of your breakfast. So that's why.
Yeah, and you're
and then you're
gonna have to brush your teeth again after you eat. So why do it twice?
Exactly.
Just eat immediately, then brush.
Put the shopping away.
Yep. That was well coordinated.
This is how good clams are at cleaning up dirty water.
Yeah, they are nature's filters.
Another reason not to eat them, I guess, eh? They're full of
I just
nasty.
learned something new. If a helicopter
All shellfish is our bottom feeders, so yeah, pretty much.
or an osprey, as you see here, is operating at night, in dusty conditions, the blades will start to sparkle.
That's cool. Ospreys are death traps. You shouldn't be near that. You will die. Everyone knows that those Japan hates those fuckers. So many people have died when they crash.
Tiny particles are hitting the blades, causing it to spark.
I mean, they are cool as fuck, but they're really old. They're like from the 70s.
Excuse me, sir.
Ooh.
This is how vets test elephants for diseases. They are trained to take in some salt water into their trunks and then spit it out back into a bag.
Ew.
It's kind of crazy how dramatic this was.
Oh no!
Oh!
They were out in the ocean and spotted something huge underwater, so one of them jumped in to get a better look.
There's another one coming. There's another one
No,
coming.
when you see something in the ocean that's huge, the first thing that goes to your mind is not to jump into it.
Submarine.
Oh, shit.
What the? Everyone wants this. Well, you'd never dive on a submarine, Vic. That's a bad.
The student was minding his business in his dorm room at his university when this happened.
Okay, why does he have his towel up like he has boobs?
Good question. Also, why is he living in a closet?
Well, he's a student, so that's like his dorm. Well, but here's the thing: why does it look like?
That's so
Oh,
tiny,
yeah.
though.
What?
It's so tiny, though.
Well, he's probably like a basic bitch.
Maybe it's Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Maybe it's what the
I don't know. My dorm was bigger than this. Well.
Oh.
I'll help. He's trying to cover his cock.
Yeah, this guy's like, you're not using my room to escape, bitch.
Ew, but impressive,
yeah,
but
that's
also unnecessary.
no thanks.
Yeah, you have that. I'll have the next one.
I mean, out of that person themselves.
Yeah.
Can I get some breakfast with less foot on it, please?
1, 2, 3.
I had no idea that a chicken hole was so scary.
That island chicken nest.
Fuck. I've never heard the phrase chicken hole before.
Oh, she had balls.
Not anymore. That's a sex change operation.
What the hell?
Okay.
Yo, look what I found. It is a 1, 2, 3, 4.
Fuck.
A 6-leaf clover. Isn't that so neat?
Extra lucky.
He really risked all of his aura to wake up a dead crowd.
Look at all those
So why was
easily
this
manipulatable
actually
sheep.
What if no one did anything and they just looked up at him really awkwardly?
Is that Arya Stark?
Super impressive.
This is our impression of 2 ambulances driving by your house.
Arya put on some weight. They're too good at that.
Brain fail.
For some reason, someone hacked into this crosswalk speaker to have an AI version of Mark Zuckerberg talk to people.
Yes.
Hi, this is Mark Zuckerberg, but real ones call me the Zuck. You know, it's normal to feel uncomfortable or even violated as we forcefully insert AI into every facet of your conscious experience.
They were trying to cook using a traditional Hawaiian ground oven when this happened.
Yes, I'm playing The Sims more and more these days, and I've got the island expansion, and that includes you can get this to put on the beach, and it just you just build it up. It's fucking wild. Yep.
Oh.
That can happen too.
These skydivers jumped out of a plane, and then the plane immediately started to stall.
Oh, Jesus. Oh. I mean, obviously no one's hurt, but why would you be using a prop plane that high up?
The pilot was able to regain control of the plane after a few scary seconds.
At least he had plenty of time to do it, eh?
Right?
This is the first time you have ever seen a horse moonwalk.
Actually, no, I've seen... Yep.
Did this dog just instantly fall asleep?
Baby! I love.
Aw.
Now that's a skill.
Fuck, I wish I could do that.
Speaking of, it's midnight, so this little boy...
That is the end of this video. Hopefully I made your day just a little bit more sunny, and...
A little bit, yeah.
Dos is a sweet boy.
He's a very sweet boy. And knows we do this and has given us his blessing. So I've never felt bad showing his stuff.
Oh, well, now we have to invite him on.
I don't think I have that sort of clout with him, especially because I'd have to go back to the horror that is Twitter.
You know, sir, they say you miss 100% of every shot you don't take.
True. They say that 60% of the time. 90% of the time, they're right. Yes, that was an Anchorman joke.
Yeah. 70% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make any sense.
Ketchup steak. Is this the Trump video?
It wouldn't be boiled. It'd be set on fire with one of Elon's flamethrowers. So that's ketchup
Oh,
steak.
actually, no.
No, we need...
Deep fried deep dish looks better.
Yeah.
I'm just making fun of the ketchup steak. I don't want to see that atrocity happening.
All right. Then the deep fried dish, and we already did the tarantula one because Magica screamed in pain.
That was fun.
Swedish candy, cilantro, printer ink.
Why?
Cabbage steak. Baked potato. We already did the Russian beef. Steak boiled and cherry pie film.
That hurts my teeth just to look at.
Starbucks boiled chicken. It's gonna be a very messy one. Steak bun and bars. Rat food sausage. I remember that one. Mrs. Sausage is the rat. Yeah. Here, Starbucks boiled chicken. Here, I'm in charge. Yeah.
Deep fried
I said
dish
so.
pizza. It's a no-brainer.
I'm allowed to be a dictator on my
Geno's.
show.
Oh no, not Geno's.
Yeah.
We have Geno's trauma.
All right, that's mostly thought out. We got our pepperonis, we got our sausages, we got our pizza.
The sauce looks terrible.
Oh god.
How many eggs do you think it's gonna take? Oh wow, that just put all the shell in there.
Well, now he's got to take a second mortgage out in his house.
Breadcrumbs. Something tells me this ain't gonna be enough
Or
flour.
eggs in this economy.
Smooth it out on the top. Dunk it, and just so that you all know, 6 eggs.
So Luka,
is
how's
not
the eggs
nearly
doing these
enough to be
days?
dunking this thing in.
What?
The egg prices.
On the difficulty frying scale, this
Now
this
they've
is
gone
like a-
down because demand's gone down, and also the more people are starting to use alternatives like those weird sprays and shit.
Yep.
So that's not great for the poultry farmers of America. It's not a good thing that the price, just like the way fuel prices are going down a bit. It's because fewer people are flying to America.
Well, yeah, I mean, when you have fluctuating prices, it affects the stock value and it affects business decisions. And it's like, people prefer stability in a market because chaos in a market, because investors are skittish as it is.
Also,
Like, they prefer
OPEC
the
has
safety of
increased
knowing what
its
they're getting into.
output, despite the fact it said it wouldn't, which on the surface for like a week will mean very low prices, and then eventually, how will the companies have money to do anything? So fuck you. I'm okay. I'm okay with this form of accelerationism. I hate to say it, but I think Paul Zigo might have made a few good points back in the day. I was very much anti-Paul. Him like, oh fuck it, it's all done. We should just hurry it up. Now I'm like, oh, he was kind of right. So he was kind of right.
10 out of 10 here. We're gonna do it from the top. That's exactly what you want to see in a flip. Half the breading going sideways. All right. At some point, we have to be ready to fry this thing. All right, I did a quick calculation and determined that the pizza was the exact circumference of the pot, so we're going to have to use just a little bit bigger of a pot. They call this the old switcheroo in the big leagues. Hot oil! Check it and see. I got a bunch of scalding oil on me. Okay, let's deep fry some pizza.
Drop it like a fool. Oh.
Of course, the new problem's gonna be figuring out how to get this.
I can
thing
hear him
out of there.
screaming now.
I can't see a thing. Oh, it's rising out of there like a mummy. Okay, I have no idea, but the sides are looking pretty brown, so I'm gonna.
The way mummies rise out of oil.
Careful. Oh, it looks like an
Mommy's
apple pie.
alive.
No, this looks pretty good. Hey, Mr. Sausage, I think I actually
This is
made
peak
something.
America.
No, you didn't. She's just jealous because she didn't think of it first. Let's open it up and see how we did.
Now look, when I get shit faced, something like that would actually be appealing to me.
You know what this looks and sounds like the noises it made when he was moving it and the way it looks right now? It reminds me of the McDonald's pizzas.
Yeah.
Which were shockingly
By the
not
way, in
bad,
the
actually.
future, I think if this turns out good, I'm just gonna quarter it first and then deep fry it. It's too much of a hassle to do the whole thing. Here we go! Oh, that tastes extra unhealthy, but it's so good. I really think there could be a business made just deep frying already made foods. It's got all the deep dish pizza taste, but it's crunchy like biting into a piece of fried chicken.
You should get one of these when you buy like 30 or more shitty beers. You know, like, you should just get one of these for free.
Love it. This one's a good one, people. I'm gonna have to give the deep fried deep dish pizza a 5 out of 5.
We call that the Depression Express. Your life's not going Cobb's, but oh god, imagine Cobb's food hacking that.
Oh.
You think it was depressing before. You just wait until King Cobra gets his hand on it. There is one.
I'm sad now.
There is one thing that I want to talk about now, but only talk about because there's no real footage yet. This week we are meant to be getting actual an official trailer for the Oblivion remake, because we all thought it was just going to be like a nothing burger, and then it was leaked, and then it was like, oh shit, this is a real thing that's happening. We are getting Oblivion. And
oh, you guys thought you were getting Elder Scrolls 6? Nope, we're turning into Disney now and just remaking everything instead.
I don't want to think about the Hammerfell I'll never get to see, because it'll make me feel sad.
Speaking of which, though, did you hear? Apparently, Disney is stopping with the fucking live-action remakes finally.
Well, yeah, because they are.
So I heard.
They're probably costing more than they take back in.
Yeah, but it took them this long to realize it.
Sure. I mean, hell, they filmed Mulan next to a Uyghur re-education camp. Yeah, that's some great stuff there. Oh, the live action stuff was just dog shit. Like it was so boring.
I think Snow White definitely didn't help them in the.
Yeah,
those dwarves.
That's apparently the one that tipped them over. But yeah, those doors are terrifying. They were just like heads with feet on them or something. Oh god.
But yeah, hopefully next week I'll be able to show the trailer and all that for Oblivion. And of course, it is actually putting more energy back into things like Sky Oblivion and stuff like that. Which, if you know anything about me, you know I like to take Skyrim and mod the living shit out of it. So until it's actually almost pretty. It actually kind of looks like the new God of War series now, when you get all the mods, even the gameplay.
Well, that's more than kind of pretty. Come on.
Yeah, it's so like you're going to need about like a terabyte of memory to pull off that many mods. But if you do, you might as well have just spent 40 or 50 or something and get like a discounted God of War, you know. Still, it is absolutely amazing what the modders can do, and now I'm very curious to see what the remake's gonna look like. Will it be dog shit? Probably. Will it not be dog shit? Probably not. Before we continue, just want to show this real quick.
Also, more importantly, will it play like Starfield or not?
Oh, I hope they've learned their lesson. This guy,
unlikely,
made his son. And we'll go right to the end. A actual World of Tanks tank that he could drive. Whoop, whoop.
Nice.
Trailer.
That's some high quality dadding.
Right. Come on, show us. There it is. Look at that shit. It has like a paintball thing on the front of it. It's in the actual rotating turret. You get to see inside it as it's driving at one point. It looks, from that angle, it looks like a remote control thing, but that's, yeah.
It's so small.
It's just small. What is this? A tank for ants? Digital tank features into a tank model. That's fucking so cool. My dad did make some cool stuff for me back in the day, but he would have sucked at this because he was terrible at electronics. But he would have. I think at one point he had planned to make me like a full human-sized chess set. He actually got like five chess pieces in. It was very cool. Then we ran out of space, and he started to drink heavily. And well, yeah. Alcohol. That's the running That's the running theme of this episode. Alcohol. It ain't all it's cracked up to be.
I don't think we've ever boiled anything in Starbucks before, but we're gonna remedy that with this piece of chicken that's been marinating in Italian dressing in my fridge for 3 days.
When the boiling stock costs more than the meat you're putting into it.
Oh Jesus Christ! Oh,
here we go.
Oh, he cleaned every time. Why does he do this? He has to take the grill off now and clean it.
Making a mess. It's not a looker. It smells like Starbucks and poultry. All right, let's call that.
It tastes like Starbucks
right
and nothing else.
Things aren't looking so delicious. They're looking brownish gray. I got some of that sauce reducing on the stove. That's not raw chicken. That's just what chicken looks like close to the bone, so no problem there. Here we go. It's really not bad at all. It's actually very good. Here I thought I was being silly, but chicken goes very well with a cream sauce. And this was essentially boiled in whipped cream. Give it some of that.
That's not how you
Starbucks
chicken
gravy.
fricassee.
You throw a couple of sun-dried tomatoes at this bad boy, and all of a sudden you're eating at the Ritz-Carlton. It's sweet, it's creamy, it's delicious. I have no choice but to give this Starbucks chicken here a 5 out of 5.
Surprising. Remember that cowboy guy we watched cook up a chicken fricassee?
Cowboy Kent Rollins.
Yeah, him.
That
was probably a bit better, honestly.
A tad better.
But I find it funny that the symbol for "and" is a stick figure dragging its butt.
That is a stick figure dragging its butt, and I don't think I'm ever going to unsee that. The ampersand is a stick figure dragging its ass.
But I find it...
Fact.
All right. Let's go. We got Buff lined up for last week. So before we click on him, who wants to do some shilling? Does anyone?
Not I.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I haven't really been doing anything in terms of Twitch or YouTube lately, aside from the wrestling videos that automatically get uploaded to my channel. So that's about it for me.
And like he said, and anyone watching this after the fact or is lurking right now, if you are if you are struggling and need someone to talk to, he sounds like Luka would be an understanding ear. Also, if you like wrestling, he does wrestling stuff. So, yeah. Wrestling. All right, so this week is actually going to be a pretty good one in terms of content here and over on Twitch. We just started up Final Fantasy 3, so either tomorrow or more likely Tuesday, I will be giving you guys that. Then on Wednesday, Chesh will be returning for UFF. Which is the name of the show, but it's if I'm right, the show's name is Untitled Fan Favorites. Yes, so that's what the acronym is. It's the start, and it is going to be a show that'll have other people on too.
But officially known as UF.
UF, good old UF. Welcome back to UF. We now have a name.
The UF stuff.
The UF stuff. Yeah.
Ooh.
But yeah, the show I've been doing for the past 2 months, once a month, where Chesh comes up and we play Crisis Core. Well, I play Crisis Core. I'm the hands, and she will be the mouth. A nice reverse of attitudes, considering I tend to be the mouth. Also Magicus will be down the line joining me for the same show, but he has a different game that will be revealed later on in the month. Also, speaking of Chesh, who will be joining us as our guest for Bearded Ramblings 197. We're getting close to that 200. Also, Landon will be returning, so fuck yeah.
Cool.
And I think that's basically it. Other than that, follow on Discord and do all that other good stuff. And yeah, let's round out our dancing lad, where he is flamboyant. That's a jig.
Yeah, what's poppin'? It's your boy Buff Krill, baby, back on up with the nose, back in, check with your boy Buff 122, back on up on ride lows, till it got on 1, 5, 3, 9, 11, 11, 11, 12, 11, 12,
111, Army of Heaven.
Yeah, count it down when you're all around, you count it down. It was today on the Bahama Rhapsody, Queen on 122, your boy Buff Krill, back on up with your nose, it's got fun, baby.
Yes. Do you think he has the tarp over it only halfway so he can duck underneath so he can go out the back? He just leaves it up.
Maybe.
Hmm.
Who knows?
Is this the real life? Is this just fantasy? Caught in a landslide, no escape from reality. Open your eyes, look up to the sky and see.
This is such a disjointed song, it's going to go all over the place.
I'm just a poor boy, I need no sympathy, 'cause I'm easy come, easy go, little high, little low, any way the wind blows, doesn't really matter to me,
Yep.
Here it is.
This is about what I was expecting to get out of this.
We haven't even gone to the meat of the song yet.
Me mama. Mama killed a man? What did she do that for? For sure.
Wonder if we'll get the copyright claim on this.
Not for that guy.
Skip rope as you do.
The fuck was that?
He was kind of like leading someone that he was also doing doggy style.
I was thinking more like trotting on a pony or something.
Real tea matters, huh? Okay.
Real tea does matter. No fake tea.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Yeehaw!
Delicate cowboy steps.
There he is.
What? Now the double guns.
Now he's a stripper.
Rootin' Tootin' Corral. He's telling us a story with his dance.
Who else we had interpretive dance? Buff. Look at that footwork. My God.
Yeah, look at it.
Legs are turning into pool noodles.
He's having a hard time picking up that heavy luggage. I like his experimental phase. Trying a lot of new things here. took a break for a few seconds.
Oh, come on! He didn't do the piano hands. He said he just shook his ass.
He did piano ass.
He's too scared getting close to the TV. He slides himself back.
Yeah. He doesn't want to accidentally flail out and hurt the TV.
Or if he fell into the cot. Just did a little spinny.
Ooh, wiggles! He's doing a wiggle!
Robot wiggles.
Head's like a fucking like crackhead that you see on like the bus at 2 in the morning talking to himself. Ooh.
He learned how to do it from that horse.
Zoidberg going on there. Nice.
What's that?
He hasn't been this expressive in a long while.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Channeling his boss ass there.
Nothing really matters. Anyone can see. Nothing really matters. Nothing
Boss Nass
really
acapella when?
matters to me.
Oh, come on. Not even done yet.
Oh, he always does this though.
I know, but the song wasn't quite done. Oh, good shit. Good shit.
I'm gonna go rewatch that Doom acapella now.
Inside a man, there are two wolves. The Kusan and Jew are making American history.
Oh boy.
I mean, those are definitely the two wolves in sight of that particular person, anyway.
Jesus. All right. Yay! We've come to a fun end to a serious day. See, we swung it back around. And now it is Monday after Easter Sunday. So I'm sure there's some religious medieval practice you can go and do. So why don't you go and do it? Why don't you bloody go and do it?
Yeah.
Yeah, I dare you to I don't know, give alms to beggars or 10% of your crop to the church. Go on, do it. Die of the plague. Die.